Hey everyone, I'm trying to make this more straight, which is not working. Hey everybody, welcome to today's healing meeting. It's a little early just because my daughter has a big event at her school today. Now I'm just doing my little bit, I'm outside today, which is like a different experience. I am just setting up my technology. Okay, there we go. Okay, not now. Not now. Hi, Christina. How's it going? You know, the other day I totally thought you won the lottery. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So give me 2 seconds here. Share to a group. I'm just trying to... There we go. Yay! I think I got it all set now. So, hey, everybody. What up, Ashley? I went outside today. I was meaning to do this earlier, but I got caught away. Oh no, my clothes suck. You don't even know. I totally got caught up in cleaning my house and redid my whole entire house. This is what anxiety looks like for me sometimes, is that I love to change things. It's a positive part of my anxiety, I think, because I like to change things around and make things new all the time. So it's not much of a downer for me that it is my husband, because he's always like having to move stuff for me. So there's positives to the many, 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 many negatives. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. So I wanted to discuss a little bit further. I've had a lot of comments about anxiety. I've had a lot of people talk to me and say how it exists in their life. I've done lots of research myself, just because I wanted to educate myself in what was going on in my brain and what I was possibly having to prepare myself to live with for the rest of my life, which I would like to say is one of the ways that I've made it anxiety easier to deal with, is that I don't see it as trying to get rid of it. I try not to, I did the fighting, I did the wanting to get it out of my head, and I understand, like, I don't want to stay. This is my brother's book. It's just a journal, but it was Chris's, and it was empty, so now I'm filling it. So one of the things that I do now is I don't try to get rid of my anxiety. I find different ways of coping and different ways of existing with it. So I coexist with anxiety. But I also don't like people to see me, like, people are like, oh my God, right? And like, I do my lives, which is new to me, which I love. And I have my videos on YouTube, and I want, everybody that has anxiety out there, as well as myself, to know that you don't have to be, anxiety is not who you are. Anxiety is something that you live with. Anxiety is something that goes on with you, but that's not who I am. I'm Ashley Flowers. I am a mother. I am a mother of fur babies. I love life, and sometimes my life gets interrupted by anxiety, and that's how I choose to see it now, instead of it owning me. Lots of talking. The more I started talking to people, the more I started realizing that I wasn't the only one that this happens to. The more I started opening up, my friends started opening up to me, and they felt calm. Like, when you find out that somebody has something the same as you feel more calm. It helps you calm. It helps you deal with your anxiety. It helps you deal with your mental disorders, because you're not the only person it's happening to. You're not the only one that's having these feelings, which isn't like rah-hurrah, but it's great, because then you're not alone in the world. Even my husband, like, he doesn't go through things that go through, he doesn't have the same things going through my mind as I do. He doesn't deal with anxiety, but he deals with his own stuff. But he supports me and has always supported me in getting through breakdowns and being able to get through my days when I'm having bad days. So it's good to find somebody that can support you. And maybe do the research themselves if they're a big person in your life, your husband, your wife, your children, you know, if they're grown children, do some research themselves so they kind of know more of what you're going through. So they're not like, oh my God, right? Because sometimes you just want to be alone. Sometimes you just don't want to deal, you know? A lot different because I'm on so early. So I just want to kind of go over, Oh, you're welcome, silly. Hi, Nika. How's it going? What up? It says wave. Wave at Nika. So in my, I don't know if it's being a girl or what, but being a girl and being a woman, I guess, and having anxiety, you don't get to be a girl if you had children. Being a woman and having anxiety. And my healing meetings aren't always about anxiety. They're about different issues. I don't just go over what I go through. I go over what I know a lot of other people go through as well. Addiction is a big part of my healing meetings, and how to heal ourselves from addiction and exist with addiction and relapse and stuff. Right? So as a woman going through anxiety, I want to kind of go over the couple things that I find heighten my anxiety. So sometimes I'll be like, you know, like I'll go a couple months and I'll be like, I was doing so good. I thought it was gone. Like I thought I handled this. I thought I was able to be able to cope with it when it came back. So these are the couple things I've noticed, and there's a pattern. So I find patterns, and then I give myself a break when I find those patterns, going, okay, my anxiety is heightened today or this month because of this. So then I'm like, just calm down, because that's going to go away, and the anxiety is going to go away too. I kind of, yeah. So for me, the other health issues that heighten my anxiety, and I'm sure it's not just me because I've read about these things, and I search up, does this make your anxiety worse? How should I feel when this is happening? And I don't just take it from one, and I'm not a doctor, so don't ever, throw doctor in there. I have no medical backing. I have experience, which I think is amazing because we have so many times where there's therapists out there and that are trying to teach us to get better as human beings and to deal with our mental disorders, but they've never gone through it. Trying to talk to a therapist that's never had depression before, never had anxiety, never had bipolar, or an addiction counselor, which is hard because a lot of addiction counselors and a lot of people that work with people with addictions have gone through it, which is awesome. I like that. But having an addiction counselor talking to you about your addiction, or having, hey, how's it going, Anne? How's it going? Or, this is a big one, having child and family, like the Ministry of Child and Family in your life, talking about how you're raising your children when they've never had children. I had that with my nephew. My brother had, when I got my nephew when he was 2, the things I'd hear come out of the social worker's mouth, I'm like, have you ever raised a child? I'm raising 2 right now, and all of this stuff sounds like bullshit. I really should make this more friendly for younger people and not swear all the time, but I think my 12-year-old nephew swears more than I do. He just doesn't do it at home anymore. He goes, but Auntie, I do it at school. Because every kid swears behind their parents' back. By the way, girls, I'm just saying. So anyways, like I said, not a medical professional, but I have lots of background on it, and I live with it, and I've lived with a lot of the things I talk about. And so that's where my opinions come from, where I find weird type of expertise comes from. So for my other health issues that heighten anxiety are tooth pain. So when I get an abscessed tooth or a cavity, and I have pain in my mouth, sometimes it throbs, and so it kind of mimics when I have anxiety. And the pain actually makes anxiety worse because it's all connected to your brain. And so when something's so close to your brain, it actually triggers anxiety. So pain, from tooth pain, that is one. So trust me, if you go get your teeth fixed or go to the dentist, you'll have less anxiety. Migraines is another thing, because migraines, you're not focusing, you're already not focusing sometimes when you're having anxiety, and you can't focus even more so when you have a migraine. And again, pain and your head and your brain all connected. Sore muscles. I find after I go to the gym, and that bothered me for a while, that I couldn't go to the gym because sore muscles reminds me of having an anxiety attack, because everything feels tense, and I don't like the fact that I can't calm it. So like when you're having an anxiety attack and you calm down, your muscles aren't sore anymore, everything's not tense. But when I went to the gym, I'd find afterwards that the next couple days afterwards, it just felt like an anxiety attack to me. So the gym, and I'm not saying don't go to the gym, but I'm saying that could mimic anxiety. Depression, they go hand in hand. Overthinking, negative thoughts. So that can definitely heighten anxiety, is having depression. Also, when I had anxiety, I diagnosed myself and told my doctor for months that I had depression. So if anybody out there finds that you don't feel completely depressed, but you're overthinking and negative stuff going through you, check out to see if it might be anxiety and having an anxiety attack, or manic anxiety, like a manic attack, and maybe not depression, because then you can treat it differently. A cold affects your brain. A cold that sounds just weird. A cold affects your body, and when your head feels so heavy, it definitely can mimic and heighten anxiety. PMS, ladies. So when I have my period, every month my anxiety gets worse near my period, every month. So now, and I'll tell you about that after. And menopause as well. Haven't gone through that yet, but I've talked and heard and read. So I kind of just want to say, when I experience these things, I let myself off a little. I try not to say, oh, here again, I'm going to have a breakdown. This will never leave me alone, and get really negative about it. Instead of getting negative about it, what I do is I just tell myself, okay, so I'm having a toothache, so my anxiety is going to be worse. And once I get that fixed, my anxiety is going to slow back down. Okay, so I'm getting my period. So I know exactly why my anxiety, why I can't sleep well. I know exactly why I'm waking up in the middle of the night. I know exactly why I'm having more night terrors. It's because of all the extra hormones going through my body. A cold. Let yourself relax. Let yourself just be sick. I find that's a really good way of learning to relax when you have anxiety, because it's very hard to just sit in one spot. When you have a cold though, it's kind of like a free pass. Like, try to see if you can start relaxing then, because it's going to be easier for you. Life changes that can affect anxiety, and this is how I see it. I have one person on right now. This is amazing. I never come on at this time. Moving, loss, changes in relationships, weather change. Weather change is a big one. What is it called? I think it's called SAD. But so weather change is crazy. Like, you can't, I actually am much more down when it's not sunny out than I am. And even when it's just like muggy out, my anxiety actually gets a little worse. Same with winter, unless I'm like doing winter stuff. So like excitement, like Christmas and sledding and all that kind of stuff. But being in the house and not being able to be as active can definitely get you down and worsen it. Change of work. So like if changes in environment, changes in people you're around, nerves about you not going to be able to do something properly, or that you have to try something new, and too much quiet time. So kind of just like the Christmas thing, too much quiet time, just being by myself. I noticed when my kids were smaller, being a stay-at-home mom bothered me because, well, your kids don't speak English and the only thing you're listening to is Dora, and they nap a lot. So, and you don't get out of the house and you don't socialize and all that kind of stuff unless you're in those really, like, you know, pro moms. So that's actually when I had one of my breakdowns, is when I was at home and work slowed down and not being around my friends, and my husband always being at work. And, you know, it's not that your child wasn't exciting, but like, there wasn't as much going on, and everything felt like it was repetitive, like you're doing the same fucking thing every day, right? No excitement, I guess. So that is one of those things. So the things I find when you have anxiety, hi Larry, how's it going? Have anxiety, are loss of excitement, high nerves, tiredness, worry, numb body and mind. So I've had a lot of times where if I have a very strong anxiety attack, the next day or even next day or two, my feelings are numb. Like, I feel like I can't feel love. I feel like I can't feel excitement, life. That's how I feel. But then I actually found out that it's a part of anxiety. When you have a large anxiety attack, coming down from it, it's like, when you have a big anxiety attack, all your sources are being used, resources are being used. Your whole body is focusing on breaking down and running, you know, or to make it better. So everything's coming together. So like the next day or the next couple hours, you calm and your body comes out of the anxiety attack. Everything's worn down. Everything's worn out. Everything just wants to go to sleep. So literally, this is why I find the numbing, the emotional numbing and the mind numbing happens after anxiety attacks. So I actually give myself, I allow myself, you know, those couple days or that day to feel that way. And instead of, I hug a lot when that happens, and I snuggle my husband and my children a lot when that happens, because I feel safer, and I feel that I can feel my warm feelings when that happens. So like, being closer to people after you have a large anxiety attack is really good, because it can help you, for one thing, get out of it quicker and get out of the numbness. Worry is a huge thing about anxiety that I do go over quite a bit of how to stop that. So ways that I've taught myself to live with anxiety. And like I said at the beginning of this, there's different, you can live your whole life trying to get rid of something, or you can try to coexist with it and actually enjoy your life. So that's the top one, coexisting with anxiety. Know what heightens it. So like I was talking about, know what brings on anxiety attacks, know what heightens anxiety, and give myself a break because I know why it's happening. Study it. I study a lot of it. I study a lot of different things. Anxiety is one of them, and I have done a lot of studying and a lot of research on it, just because it helps me understand what's going on with myself. Mindfulness. I practice mindfulness. I teach 2 sessions a day of meditation on my group, No Judgment, which is helping me as well as I'm helping others. And mindfulness is great because it can actually reduce anxiety, reduce chances of having dementia, Alzheimer's, other mental conditions, reduce as well relapse, everything. Like, it can reduce everything because you have more control over your mind. Let myself have bad days. My husband actually taught me that one. You know, if I was having a bad day and I'd call him, I'd be like, you know, crying, I can't stop, and I can't stop thinking negatively and whatever. And he's like, just let yourself be. Let yourself have a day. Just stay on the fucking couch. Don't get out of your pajamas, and it's okay. Nothing's gonna happen. Nobody's feeling bad that you're not getting up. So let yourself have bad days. Let myself cry. That's a good one. Is let yourself cry. Let yourself feel the emotions of anxiety. Just get it out. Don't hold it in. No, it's not going to last, because it's been proven fact in your mind, in my mind, that it never does. It never lasts. It doesn't matter how far it's gotten you and how extreme it gets, it does not last. So just keep that in your mind. That anxiety attack, that anxiety that's coming from wherever it's coming from is not going to last. Let it pass. It's going to. Journal. Write down your feelings, write down your fears, write down those scary ass thoughts. Write them down and they'll start to leave your mind. And then the next one after that is journal more. Journal more, because the more you journal, the more you get it out of your mind. It's like talking to somebody. It's like talking to a therapist. You're getting it out. Even while you're journaling, say it out loud. Say it out loud is the next one. When I'm having bad thoughts or negative thoughts or anxiety, anxious thoughts is what I like to call them. I always say, this is an anxious thought. It's just an anxious thought. You know, as if I'm talking to the person in my car, but it's just an anxious thought. It's not my thought, right? And I actually let it be there, because if you let it hang out, it'll actually go away. So I always say to myself, it's an anxious thought. This is an anxious thought. That's not my thought. That's the thought that's made out of fear and anxiety, and it's an anxious thought, and it's not mine. And that actually helps me. It relieves me from having that in my mind. Never make big decisions while having an anxiety attack, or when your body is high in anxiety and highly anxious that day. Don't make big decisions. Don't make relationship decisions. Don't make love decisions like, do I love this person? Do I spend enough time with this person? Do I enjoy my kids enough? Do I enjoy my life enough? Don't make those decisions. You're anxious, your mind's going to think all negative. It's going to be horrible, and the outcome's not going to be good. So when you're anxious, highly anxious, and when you're having an anxiety attack, don't make life-changing decisions or emotional decisions. So I don't let myself do that. It took a while. It doesn't happen right away, right? So no large purchases, no relationship changes, nothing about self-worth, because you're amazing. And if you start thinking of your self-worth in an anxious moment, it's going to be negative towards yourself. So try not to think of self-worth. Understand, when my mind is anxious, there's going to be more negative thoughts going in and out. So it's good to understand those things. So this is really like ways I've taught myself to deal and live and coexist with my anxiety. And I have obviously a lot more information that I want to share with people. That's another thing, is you're going to be more judgmental about your life and other people's life while you're anxious. So it's another thing not to worry about when you're having an anxious moment. It's pretty quiet on today, I tell you. Usually I have at least 15-20 people in my room, and today I have a couple. But I'm glad to have shared that with you guys. Like I said, I'm on my regular time is usually during the evening. But today is all about my family. But I did want to spend some time with you guys. Hi Roy, how's it going? Did it not alert you again? Because like everybody has this alert on and then it's not working. It's horrible. Welcome to my outside area. So I am just hopping off. But like I said, I wasn't coming on tonight just because, I'm going to have to figure that out. Like, who do you call? Facebook? It's not like Hydro or like TELUS. You can't just call somebody. You literally go on Facebook and it's like, here's four different, is one of these, here's four different like things that are wrong. Is one of these the what problems, what you need help with? And if it's not one of those problems, who the hell do you talk to? But I'll try. I will look into it. So I'm going to go for today. I have lots of things to do. I did a lot of baking, right? I did a lot of baking already. Some good oatmeal cookies. My youngest never likes my baking and she loves them. I've been making them for the last 2 years now, and she just can't get enough. She eats them all. So, and then I'm going to make some white chocolate covered strawberries with chocolate drizzle. So I hope that turns out. I'll show you guys pictures. It's yummy. It's really yummy. So I'll be on this evening a little bit later than usual for meditation, either later or earlier. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do before or after. And I hope everybody has a good evening. It is good. It's yummy. You need like taste-o-vision. Thanks for popping in, Roy. So, and everybody else as well. And I'll see everybody a little later. Share this would be great if you share the video, seeing as we didn't get as many people in the room today as we usually do, but that's okay. That's another one of my anxious things is I down on myself. So when I think something's not working the way it's supposed to, I'm just like, yeah, well, I did a shit job today. I know I didn't though. And, I will talk to you guys soon. Message me if anybody wants help on anything, or if you have any problems in your life, that deal with, struggle, just reach out. I'll be your friend. I sound like a Barney show. Bye guys.